Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. The little critter of this stamp set is so cute. Stole my heart. This stamp set is from Gerda Steiner Designs and it's called Sending Love. Oh my goodness, there's a cute little snowman in there. He's pretty cute too. The snowman's actually holding a bird and then there's some extra little birds in there. But the image of the rabbit and the squirrel hugging, I think it's so stinking cute. So that's what we're going to use today. I'm going to stamp with my Memento ink on some Neenah Classic Crest Solar white cardstock. Both of these are great for alcohol markers or Copic markers. I'm going to use my Copics to color in my image today. Very easy coloring. I did leave the caps out for you guys, but I sped the coloring up just a little bit, shorten the video, but when I'm done coloring, I'll catch you back. Okay, coloring is all done, and you see how cute they are. I just think of this. They just go together like peanut butter and jelly. That's how cute they are. I'm going to use my scissors to fussy cut my image out. Gerda Steiner Designs does have coordinating dies for this set, and I'll list it below if you guys are interested in the dies. It's nice because Gerda Steiner Designs puts them on magnets, and they're separated for you. But my image is cut out. Easy to fussy cut. I left a little bit of a border. Now we need a little place or a scene for our little critters. So I'm bringing in a die set called Stitched Arches. You can actually create a tag with this set. So that's what I want to do. There's a little tag piece. I die cut that out 3 times with white cardstock, and then the largest arch in the set with white cardstock. I'm actually going to layer 3 of these tag toppers together. This creates like a chipboard effect, and I don't have to add foam adhesive behind it. It just makes it more solid, I think. And I'm going to leave them white too, so that's a good thing. But it just gives a little layer. If you want to add fun foam and die cut out fun foam, you could probably do the same thing with that. But layering 3 together is pretty easy. Now, instead of using the arch right side up, I'm going to flip it upside down. There is stitch detail on this little piece, and when you add it to the very top of your arch, it will continue the stitch line, which is really nice. I'm just making sure it's centered. I do want to find my pencil, my mechanical pencils. I usually leave a little pencil container on my desk, and the kids like to take my pencils, but I found one that actually works. I'm going to mark the center of my tag piece, and then this way I can die cut out a hole where my tag's supposed to go. Now I just use a crop dial to punch a hole out, but there is a little teeny tiny circle in that die set that you can add to your tag to cut out a circle also. But a hole punch works great for me. Now to create a background, I'm going to go easy peasy. I'm just adding some tumbled glass Distress Oxide ink to the top portion of my tag. Now I didn't trust myself to go over the stitched lines, so what I'm going to do, so in case I do go over the stitched lines, I'm going to add some post-it or some electric tape. This is actually like a post-it note tape. It's a low tack tape. I use it to secure my dies, but I'm just going to go around my arch with this. I didn't want my Oxide inks to go over again my stitch detail. I want to keep those white. Now that was my sky background. Now I'm going to bring in some pumice stone Distress Oxide ink. The pumice stone is on a warm gray side. It actually goes perfect with your warm gray markers, your W markers, at least for Copics. I like these two color combinations, and I love the softness of the browns and the blues. That's why I colored in the scarves of these guys with pinks. I thought that would be real cute. Okay, I added a little bit of grounding, just blending them together. I'm going to add just a touch more blue, and then I'm going to take, there's a little itty bitty heart, actually 2 hearts in the stamp set. I'm going to take that heart set, and then we're going to stamp with the same tumbled glass ink, and we're going to fill in our background just so we have something in the background other than clouds. I thought the little hearts would go perfect. It's very subtle, and the camera it's a little hard to see. You'll see in the close-ups, but I did want that tone on tone with the hearts. I wanted to bring in another color for my background, so I went through my Oxide inks and I found the bundled sage. I think the green and the blues would work perfect to fill in my background. I'm going to add just a few of the green hearts on my background sky as well. And we're twisting and turning, so I'm not mixing both these little hearts together. And I did use my little bunny and my squirrel as a guide, just so it kind of looks semi-even on my placement in the background. We need a couple more here on the left. Okay, once this is done, add one more, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and remove my tape here, and then we're going to use some glue and attach our tag topper. Now I'm happy I used my tape for my edges because I would have gone over the edges. And the nice thing too is they're pretty big strips, but the strips you can use over and over again, especially when you use them for securing your die cuts. Okay, now just gonna grab my glue, add some behind my tag. We're gonna line up that stitched edge and put it over the circle that we punched. And I think that looks fabulous. I'm gonna flip over my little bunny and squirrel. We're gonna add some foam adhesive behind them. Actually, before we do that, let's stamp our sentiment. In the sentiment, there's love and hugs and just fun little sentiments. I chose love. It's in a scripty font, and I'm going to stamp that in the bottom, and then you can customize your sentiments. There's warm, so you could put sending warm hugs. There's sending. I'm going to add that just above the love. So it's just going to say sending love. Kind of a versatile, so I could send it for Easter if I wanted to, or Valentine's Day. I'm going to go ahead and add my bunny and my squirrel. And put them right above the sentiment, almost like they're standing on them. And then after that, we're going to add some natural twine just above our little tag here. I'm not going to tie a bow just yet. I think I'm going to secure it on my card base before I tie the bow. Sometimes it's easier to do that way. Now for my card base, I want to keep it soft, so I'm going to bring in a very pale pink cardstock. I trim my cardstock in half and then keep it on my craft room like this. This way, if I want to create panels with it, I can, or I can create card bases by just using my bone folder and scoring it in half. I score at the 5.5 inch mark, reinforce that score line, and I have a card base. And again, this is a pale pink. Now I want to do something extra to my card base, so we're going to do a tone on tone. I'm just going to pick up some of that green tape and put it over the seam or the fold line of my card base, and then I'm going to bring in a stencil from Paper Rose. This is called Mega Spots, and I thought we'd put some tone on tone polka dots with my Versamark ink. I already have a little bit of pixie spray behind it, so I'm just going to secure it over the front of my card base, and then we'll grab our Versamark ink. Versamark, we're going to leave a watermark I wasn't sure if this was going to show up because my cardstock is pretty pale, but we'll give it a go. I'm just going to grab my Versamark and ink up my spots really good. If you have pink and white, I think, or pink and tone-on-tone pattern paper, you could just put a panel in front. I was lifting it slowly only because I wasn't sure about the tone-on-tone, but I think it was just too light. So I think we're going to bring in our white embossing powder, and since we already have Versamark down, we'll just go over our polka dots with the white embossing powder, and then I'll go ahead and melt it. I think it's going to give it more of a white background with a little bit of pink showing, and I think this is going to work out better than that tone-on-tone. Okay, we're going to reinforce this score line. It kind of lifted my paper a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and flip over my panel, add some foam tape behind it, and this is just going to go in the center of my card base. Once we have this secured in the center, I can go ahead and tie my bow. And again, this is a pretty soft card, and I think it would be good for an Easter card. But with Valentine's around the corner, it's not traditional pinks and reds, but I think it could be for Valentine's Day if you wanted to. I'm going to use my scissors and trim the tails of my twine. And then finishing touches, I'm only going to add a little bit of highlight with my white gel pen. And then that finishes off my card today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. I'll see you next week for another project. Have a great day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.